Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Motion Clubhouse. My name is Chris Ray, and today I'm going to give you 5 crucial tips to help you get started in the new year. All right, everyone. So I'm going to share 5 tips with you today that I wish somebody would have shared with me. Let's get started. Here's tip number 1. Okay, so tip number 1 is celebrate your wins. I think with social media nowadays, we tend to not really reflect on the small wins especially, right? I think that you see something on social media that's 3 months ago, or you post something that's 3 months ago, it feels like it's been a year, right? And that's just because everything is moving so fast. If you open up your phone, you hit refresh, you're instantly seeing 100 of your friends celebrating some win or some post or anything like that. Now, the important thing is that this is a really, really hard industry, right? Filmmaking's hard, editing's hard, like everything involved, right, is really difficult. And I think that it's important that you look back at where you were last year before it started, and you celebrate those wins by taking a look and saying, well, I did this, I did this, I did this, right? I think that's super important. And the reason that I say step back and take a look at those wins is because this grind is very, very difficult. It's very, very hard, right? And I think that we tend to work ourselves a ton and not really celebrate it, right? And that's one thing, is that for a long time I was doing these edits where they were just constantly, I was working on video, and then all of a sudden I'm already on the next video before the previous one even comes out, right? And I didn't really take the time to celebrate those wins. And those are moments that I wish I did, and that's something that I've definitely learned. Looking at the past year for myself, it's gone completely different than I could have ever imagined. I'm very, very thankful. I look back, and 6 months ago, Martin and I left our jobs, we started our own company full time, and boom, we're loving it. So remember why you're all doing this. There's gonna be a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but enjoy the journey. All right, so tip number 2. Set your goals. So I personally like to set goals that are small, medium, and large. The reason I like to do that is because obviously I want to be able to check off the small ones, but those small ones are going to help me get to the medium. And then I have the large ones that are going to obviously be ones that are a farther reach, but you know what? I've got the whole year to work there and get there. Okay, so small goals. That might be something very simple, whether that's use a new lens or a camera that I've never shot with. A medium goal might be, learn a new piece of software or editing program that I've never messed with. Shoot something that I've never shot before, whether that's a subject or some cool topic that I've always been interested in, right? And then that large goal, that might be working with a client that has been my dream client that I've been wanting to work with all year or in the past. And again, those small and medium goals, those are gonna help you get there. So let's say I wanted to work with a car client, right? That was my large goal. So a good example of that is, okay, well, I'm going to research how do they shoot these car commercials, right? So that might be the small thing. I might do a lot of YouTube searching, things like that, and make sure I get my hands on the right equipment. And then that medium goal is I'm gonna go out and I'm actually gonna get those kind of test shots, put them on my social media, so when I do get to that client, they see that I have experience shooting that. That is gonna help you, right? I have people talk to me and they say, oh, I wanna shoot skateboarding, I wanna shoot that. I look at their page and I look at everything they've shot. They haven't shot any skateboarding. They're not showing that. And that really confuses me because there's a million skateboarders out there. You can go out and shoot a skateboarder. They want to be filmed, right? You can go to the skate park, you can find a skateboarder. So that's where you should go and practice. You shouldn't just think, I'm just gonna jump in right into the very top and I'm shooting a BMW commercial tomorrow. So set those goals, make sure that you try to achieve them, write them down in a notebook. Maybe you have a spreadsheet that you save and you kind of check up on it every quarter and remind yourself, what am I doing to achieve these goals? Okay, everyone, here's tip number 3. Okay, so tip number 3 is a fun one, and it's actually one of my favorite ones. Do a passion project. And when I say this, I mean, find some friends, right, that are just as interested in filmmaking as you, okay? And go out and film something that you've been wanting to film. I have a lot of people that I've talked to that are, they're just waiting for the work to come to them, right? They're waiting for the project to come to them. Screw that, don't do that, okay? If you wanna go film a short film with your friends, a car commercial, a skateboard film, go and do it. Go find somebody else that's interested in doing it that has that same passion as you and make it happen, okay? It's super important. You don't need the most expensive camera in the world to do it. You don't need the most expensive lens to do it, okay? You can go and make a cool project, whether that's on your iPhone, your GoPro, a DSLR, you know, it doesn't matter. Go out and make it happen. Okay guys, so tip number 4. Okay, tip number 4 is very important. It's learn a new skill. Where I come from is in skateboarding, right? We were often the cinematographer, the director, the producer. We were all those things that you need to be, right? And now when I go onto a Hollywood film set, I tend to see people that only have one job in particular. And what I've noticed with some of those people is that they don't do any other jobs, right? If it's not their job to move a light stand, they're not gonna move a light stand. And of course, on some Hollywood sets, they're not allowed to, right? But what I'm trying to say is that be a multi-tool, okay? If you are an editor, or you become an editor, you're a better cinematographer. I promise you that, okay? That's super important. If you wanna be a better cinematographer, learn how to edit, okay? But not only that, the amount of jobs that myself or Martin or any of my other friends have been hired on, it's because we can do multiple things, right? We're super valuable. I might be on a shoot where I have 1 to 3 jobs, right? And a lot of times learning those other jobs helps me understand my key position. So let's say I'm a director on one job, and then the next job I'm a DP, right? Doing those 2 things are going to help me understand each other's roles. I think that's super important. And people are gonna hire you way more when you're able to do everything. A lot of the people that I'm surrounded by, they just do everything, and I absolutely love that. The biggest thing too is that when you're on a shoot, they learn to trust you. They learn that you have multiple skills. It's super important. I have a friend, right, who only wants to be a director, so he's having trouble getting director jobs, right? But what I've tried to explain to him is like, look, if you DP, if you camera op, you know, I don't even care if somebody calls me to do behind the scenes. You learn to meet people and they learn to trust you, and that's way more valuable, right? Because everybody out there is a good filmmaker. I mean, dude, there's a lot of good filmmakers out there, okay? A ton of good filmmakers out there in the world, but you have to learn to get their trust. People have to learn to see how you handle the gear and the equipment, things like that. So go out there, try to learn as much as you possibly can, take it all in, and you'll be where you want to be. Okay, so tip number 5. Now this is a big one. So tip number 5 is fix your weakness. Okay, when I say fix your weakness, this could be multiple things, but you may know what your weakness is, right? Maybe you're late often. Maybe you're not super organized. Maybe you're not very careful with gear. Whatever it is, that's something that you want to work on and you want to find and you want to fix that, right? So if you don't know what your weakness is, or even if you think you do, ask some close friends. Say, hey, what do you think my biggest weakness is? And get their honest opinion on what it is, right? Because that can help you, that's gonna help you be a better filmmaker, all those types of things. All right, so look, nobody is perfect, right? But everybody can fix their weakness. Now personally, my weakness, oof, this would be a tough one to find. I'm trying to, hey, Gage, Martin, you guys are my friends. They're both behind the cameras. What's my biggest weakness? Martin?
Oh man, I don't know, what should I say?
What's my biggest weakness?
Let me think.
This could hurt my feelings, guys. Let's see.
I want to get the best shots.
Okay, I don't know if you guys heard that. So Martin says that my biggest weakness is stepping back, letting others take control, and not having maybe so much control. Is that right, Martin?
Something like that.
Something like that, okay.
I don't think you have any weaknesses, Chris.
Okay, so Gage, he's the smart guy. He says I have no weaknesses. So Gage gets a raise. Okay, so stepping back, maybe not having so much control. I actually thought that I was pretty good at that, but
I don't know. I'm just
but no. This is important. This is important because even though I may or somebody you talk to may say your weakness and you may disagree with them, this is great because you need to take a step back and go, is this really happening? Like sometimes that weakness is something you don't even realize, and that's the best part about asking a friend. So Martin, thank you. I still love you, and I'm going to control my control. So those are 5 tips that come to mind when I think of what things I could do better, what things that you could do better. I would love to hear from you guys on what tips, ideas you have, what goals you guys have, any questions that you guys have. Make sure you guys leave those in the comments. We're very curious to see them, hear them. They're probably gonna get us ideas. They're gonna inspire us and so on. So I would love to hear your guys' feedback. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Make sure you like and subscribe. We appreciate the support.